Page 12, Pomp and Circumstance. Opus 39, number 1, Trio by Elgar. You'll find recordings of this if you want to know how it goes. Listen to the orchestras play it. I'd like to talk about a few things here. I'm going to start with the right hand. Hopefully I don't need to explain all these symbols. I keep explaining them, but you really need to know them. So if you're still confused about them, I'd encourage you to go back and start the videos in this book where I explain them again. So, right hand is starting with the fourth finger on the F. You see the first note is here. So I'm going to put my hand there. Tells me where to put the hand. And we have a slur. So it's like a phrase. We're going to connect all these notes. Into the left hand place the 1, 2, the fourth measure over those notes. You're going to connect this and that. That's the melody, and it has to be connected. Okay, and then the left hand takes over, and the right hand seems to be okay until you get to page 13. Look at the second line on page 13. You're still in this position, but then at measure 29, you see the 29 with a box around it? That's a measure number. So measure 29, you have to move so that your fourth finger's on the B flat here. You're in this position. Well, I suggest there is a break because it's different phrases, and between the phrases you lift your hand and come back down. You can use that to move your hand, so as you're lifting it you can move it. So I'm here and I can go here. That's fine. Another way of doing it is stretch out and put the fourth finger on it, because hopefully you can reach an octave. That's from note to note, letter to letter, C to C, and the B flat's right there. So you can reach it. You still want to lift up between the phrases. The difference is if you stretch out, you'll get to where you don't have to look down at the keyboard. You'll be able to feel this and know you're there without looking. If you stay here and go here, you got to look down when you move. You may have to do that anyway for a while, but I would suggest you get into the habit of, if you can, stretch out and feel this interval, and then you can lift it and move. Like so. And then you're okay until you get to the third measure of the third line, measure 33. Then they want the second finger on the D. You're back down here. Now here you have a half rest, so you got plenty of time to move. Right hand's not playing. And it's a hard stretch to get from here to here, so you probably have to look down and move your hand, but you're still going to do this. Then you're okay until the last measure of the piece. Look at that. They want the F and the A, those notes, played with 1 and 3. You see the 2 finger numbers? The bottom number goes to the bottom note, top note. So the thumb plays the F, 3 plays the A. So you have to move your hand up here, but you got all kinds of rests. For the left hand, no big deal. When it comes in at the top of page 12, you see you have an A and a C. It's with the 3 and the 1. And that's the end of a phrase. So before we play the B flat, we're going to lift up and down. We want a little silence in there. Here. Etc. Now in the second line, the last 2 measures, you're here. In that last measure, we want to connect the B and the C, the 2 hands, so no silence between them. It needs to sound as though one hand played the whole thing. And that can take a little practice until you get control of how loud you're playing the pieces. So try and make it sound like you may have to play it with one hand for a bit. That, so you can hear it, and then try and get it with 2 hands to sound like that. Etc. Then we go down to the 4th line down, where you have a half note in the left hand, and then next measure is here. Don't want to confuse the issue, but the phrasing is in the right hand, not the left. Here. So the first measure for both hands is here. Well, for the right hand, I want to lift up. It's a little silence for a new phrase. but not the left. I don't need any silence there. I can connect them. Like so. If it's easier for you for now to do both hands that way, go ahead. Nothing wrong with it. It's just later on when the music gets a little more involved, you're going to have to do this phrasing thing each hand independently, and it won't be the same. And a lot of times like this, when the phrasing is in the melody like that, the accompaniment doesn't get any phrasing, it's just all connected or whatever. So here you could easily just lift the right hand and leave the left hand connected. Well, let's go over here to this measure 29 again on page 13. The left hand has a rest, but the next measure would be measure 30. You're here. And then going on to the first measure of the third line. This is slurred in the left hand, so you got to connect all this. The line is this. That's what we're after. But they've added a C on top. Well, that's tricky until you get the hang of it, because you got to go from here to here. And that takes some practice. That's a little weird. I suggest, to help you out a little bit, when you're playing one note at a time, it's easier to use the fingers. I haven't talked really about technique too much, but use the finger. But when you have multiple notes, you drop the hand down. Now here we have multiple notes. I'd like to drop the hand down on those notes. So I'm playing this note, and I want to drop the hand. Can you do that? Just practice that. If you can do that, then you just add that to that. And suddenly it's not hard anymore. It's that, wow, look at that, ain't that sweet? And that's how I suggest you do that. And that's really about it for the left hand. The rest of this stuff you should have okay, I think. The dynamics, well, you put in the dynamics. It's medium soft. You have some crescendos to medium loud. There's not a lot of difference between medium soft and medium loud. Just a little bit. You decide how little bit is. When you get to measure 29, this is where it gets loud. This is yeah, okay, we're loud here. But then in the next line, you're going back down to medium loud. It's sort of loud, you know. And then at the end, you go all the way down to soft. So you're here in the left hand, and then when you play that chord in the right hand, softly. I don't know how soft, just soft. Somewhere in there. So let's try this out slowly together just to check the notes and the rhythms and all. So go ahead and put your right hand. The left hand will be here. I'll give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, tie, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Off. Now there's a duet at the bottom there for the teacher. I'm going to play that, and you play what you just played, but I'm going to speed this up a little closer to how fast it goes. So put your hands where they go. Oh, by the way, you need to move this up an octave, because otherwise it won't sound quite right, because my part is where you're playing. So move your part. Just pretend middle C went up an octave and go up here in this position and play it here. So go ahead and put your hands up there and give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go.